Today's video is going to be about power deployable running boards and how I got them to work on my 2005 Explorer here. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of a history about power running board availability for this platform. Obviously they were not available on the third generation for 02 to 05, whether you had Explorer, Mountaineer, Aviator. They simply did not exist for those. For 2006 they became an option on the Mercury Mountaineer Premier. So the Mercury actually got these first, and then in 07 they became available on Explorer, Eddie Bauer, and Limited, and those ran till 2010. And then after that they got rid of what made the Explorer good, which was body on frame. I don't really mess with 5th gens because I don't really like them very much, but that's a story for another day. Now for actually mounting them, they are a direct bolt-on. Whether you had no running boards or fixed running boards, the studs are the exact same place between 3rd and 4th generation Explorers. Physical mounting is not an issue with these. Now these specific running boards came off of a 2006 Mountaineer Premier. As the Mountaineer running boards, they are black with a polished aluminum trim piece finishing them off. Now they came in 3 designs. They have this one, and then they have the Arizona Beige for the Eddie Bauer Explorer, and then they had one with the full chrome for the Limited. This here is a power running board module off of a 2006 Mountaineer. And I figured initially I wire this up and link it to the CAN bus system like it was originally designed to in the 06 Mountaineer. They would work normally because, hey, you know, it would just be taking the door jar signals and doing something with them, sending, you know, the right commands to the motors, hooking up the Hall effect sensors in the motors as well, and all that stuff, the position sensors and things like that. Well, it did not work because rather than take the door jar signals from the actual door latches, where, you know, it senses that a door is open and it turns the dome lights on or whatever, it actually pulled that information from the instrument cluster, which was obviously programmed with as-built data, you know, for vehicles that had power running boards, so that you actually had the functionality to, you know, turn them on and off, or, you know, have them auto set in the instrument cluster. Anybody who's been in a F-150 Expedition Navigator with them knows that, you know, you can operate them through that instrument cluster. And, you know, if you put this in a vehicle that was never designed for it, you can't do that. And the system did not like that, threw an error code, and it did not work. So with using that module out of the equation, we found the puddle light signal here. It is a black and light blue wire, and I followed it down here to where the harness goes underneath the sill plate. I'll actually pop it off for you and show you. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's just like right behind here. I quick spliced it and ran it down underneath. Let me put this back on a second. And I'm actually lucky, since I have a second row console, all the components for this system is underneath this console. It fits perfectly under there. So if you don't have the second row console, I mean, you could probably do it under the seat, but having this console is definitely preferred if you're doing this. Now we have timers, relays, switches, and a couple of capacitors under here. I'm not going to go too much into specifics. If there's enough interest for it, we may end up selling a kit for it. So with the fact that this is run off the puddle light signal, we go in here, you know, you have the key in the off position and you shut the door. It doesn't go up right away. You wait the 30 seconds for the dome lights to turn off, and that is when they go up. But that also means there's a couple of cool things you can do here. So let's say switch it to accessory, or basically have it running, or in any position where the dome lights go off immediately when you close the door, and they work exactly as designed. Now that said, the only downside to this is that you can't just have one side, you know, you can't have one side open when you open a left door. So if you open the left door or the right door or the lift gate, both sides are coming down no matter what. But I don't think that's really a huge issue. It's not a big deal because they work. If you need an override switch, you just go to your dimmer switch, use it all the way down, and they go up. And then, you know, you just put it in the middle, or if you want them to stay on, you just have that so the dome lights are on all the time. So your override control switch is actually your dimmer switch now. So I think there's enough trade-offs here. It's got mostly the same functionality as a factory module controlled system. And it's even better in some cases because you can now run it off the key fob like you can in the 18 plus navigators, which I think is like the coolest part of this. So you sit here, you lock it, and they go up, and you unlock it, they go back down. That's easily my favorite part of this whole thing. You know, I just want to give a huge thank you to Off-Road Sid. Helped me out. Pretty much invaluable. Wouldn't have been possible without him. Helped me drop the diagrams and figure out what did what. So we had to do everything from scratch, because without that module, you just had to figure out what did what and set it up and wire it up accordingly. But yeah, 4th generation Explorer power running boards. Now operating on a 3rd generation Explorer. Something that I've done a year and a half of research personally to figure out how it would work, trying different avenues, and finally, you know, collaborating with somebody who ended up teaching me a lot about electricity, and we got it done. Super happy with it. That's all I got for today. I'll see you guys in the next one.